Hi, everybody. It's Dr. Young again. Glad that you could make it today. Again, our weekly meetings happen every Thursday from 1 until 1:30 for a half an hour. And today, we actually have a presenter outside of the veterinary industry. Mark and I met maybe a couple months now ago, and he shared an application with me that I wanted to present to you so that you can use it for team motivation. And I have to say, you can't see me live. My camera is off because I have low bandwidth today. And so I'm trying to save all of that so that this webinar won't get hung up in the middle someplace. So as soon as Mark starts talking, you'll see him for a second, and then he's going to share his screen with you and present this tool to you so that you can see how it works. And then at the end, I believe he'll make himself available for you and your clinic if you're interested in the tool, and you can connect with him on an individual basis. So again, he's going to be sharing his screen. He won't be able to see your questions, but I'm monitoring. So if you want to write any questions in the chat box on the right side of your screen, that would be excellent. The lag time between when you write it and when I see it is actually probably 60 seconds to maybe a couple of minutes. So don't get discouraged. And if you have a question right away, type it in there. He may answer it while it's trying to get to me, but if he hasn't, I will definitely let him know. And that's about it for me. I'll see you again next Thursday, obviously, from 1 until 1:30. But I'm just going to turn it over to Mark Taylor right now. And thank you for being with us today, Mark. I'm really super excited for you to share this tool with us. So I'll just turn it over to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Young. Hopefully everybody can hear me well. I do appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy day to come and see this tool. It's a really cool tool. I kind of give you a little bit of a background before I go into it. It was designed by two guys that did a lot of work. They're two MIT graduates that did a lot of consulting work. And as they went around to different organizations, they found that there was really a lack of recognizing and giving feedback right away. That a lot of companies do the same thing where we'll do an annual review. And that annual review, you really don't remember the whole year, right? If you do an annual review, you probably remember 30 to 60 days back. And what happens is maybe something that happened 90 days ago that needed to be addressed doesn't get addressed. So people would wait to address the negative things because people don't like to do that. On the reverse side of that, what they saw was that people really weren't recognizing people for doing the right thing. There's a saying, you catch somebody doing something right and let them know that they're doing the right thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this product here. Let me share my screen with you. And just one second. Okay. Hopefully everybody can see this. This is the home page that you would get. So this is Kingsville Veterinarian Services. I just kind of took that off the internet to show you could customize this homepage. This tool is built on 4 pillars: feedback, recognition, goals, and rewards. And it's really user-friendly, and I'll go through some of the stuff here. The way you would start and set it up is coworkers. So this is where you would put all your people into the system. You could either do this manually, you could download it off of an Excel spreadsheet. However you want to do it, they could either be administrators. Most people in here are administrators. These are the people that I set up. And they could just be non-administrators, meaning they have less view. There's also a way to rank everybody so that if it's you rank them a 1, they have less view, up to a 10, they have higher views of what you want to see. The next piece, which is pretty important, is teams. So you can set up as many teams as you want. Here I set up an executive team, a vet techs, and the veterinarians. So those are just 3 teams. You're going to want to set up your teams because the way that you reach out to people a lot of times is going to be through teams. So the next thing I want to show you is goals. So these are 3 goals that I created. Hopefully they hit your industry here. One is being a team player. And this is for the vet techs. Can you show that you're a team player? You can start the progress here. You could add different things. You can end the goal. This one started, I started this the other day on 9/12, and it's open-ended. You can make it so that it's not open-ended. The other goal that I really want to show you, though, is this one here. So sometimes you guys have to sell things, and the sale of heartworm pills. And this is one, you know, the description is sell 3 boxes of heartworm pills a day. I don't know if that's an accurate one or not, but that's what I came up with. And you can see here on this goal, you could add rewards. So everybody gets to know what the rewards are. First place is cash. You get $100 if this one is set for 90 days. So at the end of 90 days, the first place winner gets $100. Second place gets a gift certificate of $75, an AMX card, and third place gets a shirt from Kingsville Shirts. So if you guys give out shirts or have any of that kind of stuff. So you can put anything that you want here from a reward standpoint. I'll show you how to set that up later on. But you can add to this. You can have as many. You can only do one. Whatever you want to do there. This is a very, very flexible program to help motivate your employees, because this really does. And you'll see where if you give good feedback, this will help. They could also, you have the standings here, right?
So Mark, I forgot to ask you earlier if you wanted to wait until the end with questions, or if you want to take questions in between.
Let me get through it, because a lot of questions may be answered. So if you have them written down, then I'll address them afterwards, and I can always go back.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
So Nao here is in the lead with 3 points, and Jessica has 2 points. So you can see how this is set up, and you can, if you're monitoring this and you're the person implementing this, you can come in here and say, okay, he has 3 points. We'll say today Nao got 2 more sales. You just go in, you update it to 5 sales, and then you save it. Now you would also at the same time, I'll go back out, say, so he got 2 more sales. I have to leave and come back for that to update over here. You could recognize someone for this goal. So say you want to go ahead and recognize, and it's a coworker, and it's Nao again because he did a good job. And he is, and you can customize these badges. So he would say he was a hotshot today. And you just would say, you know, nice work today. Selling 2 boxes. And then you just send recognition. Now that gets sent to him. So in his part where he'll see it, it would come up in here. Okay. And then you'll see the points add on. This would add up to it. So this is just an example of one goal. If you want to run a contest with that goal, it's very easy to do, very easy to administer. If you have other goals that are just, say, positive image, you want to provide excellent medical care. This allows everybody to know what your goals are, what you're trying to accomplish in the organization. I did put some rewards on this one too. If you wanted to do that, you can also do that. So excellent medical care of the animals and maintain demonstrate professional demeanor while working in a critical care environment, keeping the clinic clean and presentable both inside and out. So you could do whatever you want in these goals, and they're very easy to create. You just start in here, and it just says create a new goal. Type in what you want. Who does it apply to? Is it the entire company? Does it apply to just an individual? So you'd go down here if it just applied to one individual. Does it apply to whatever team? If you want to do something for the vets and there was a goal that you wanted to have. This shows you the priority rating. Is it a medium, high, very high urgent goal? And when do you want to start it? You can set things up, no specific date. You want to start it next Monday. You want to start it immediately. And then when do you want it to end? Is this something that's going to last a year? You might leave it open-ended. If it lasts 2 weeks, you're having a 2-week contest. You're going to last a month, 3 months, however you want to do it. Okay, and then this would be to add the rewards, so you have a choice. Now, we don't supply the rewards, but we just give you the ability to look, and here's some selections here: cash, clothing, food, games, whatever it is that you want to put, and then you just describe the reward right there. So that's on the goal side. On the recognizing side, what you can do here, this is a quick recognition if you just want to send something out to a team member. So you go coworker, and you want to send it to Jessica. And say you wanted a badge and you said that Jessica did a really nice job today, so she was a problem solver. And you type in whatever it is that you want to type in, said, Jessica, you great job with that client that came in today. It was a difficult situation with their animal that had a lot of issues, and you really handled that well, and you smoothed that over. Something along those lines to recognize Jennifer doing a great job. That helps create that culture that you're looking for in your organization, to recognize when they do things well. And you get all the coworkers to do it. So it doesn't have to be a office manager to a coworker. It could be a coworker to a coworker, and they're helping each other out and recognizing when they do a good job. And then you would just click send recognition. Or if you want to do something a little bit more involved, you could do it here. So say you want to just recognize them, but you want to be private for whatever it is reason. You could either open it to everybody or private just to them. If you click it here, well, everybody in the organization gets to see it. So maybe some of the veterinarians get to see that Jessica's doing this great job with the customers. Maybe they never get out to see her in front, but you're able to recognize her, and they're able to see that a little bit. And then if you want to send it anonymous, you could do that, or if you want to sign it so that you send it. Now, if you want to have some attachments, maybe there was a file that you're sending to them, maybe they did a presentation to somebody, maybe they created a document to give to customers and saying, hey, Jessica created this great document. Everybody should look at possibly utilizing this. You could add that in here, and you just choose it and then upload the file. Next is getting feedback. Again, this could be opened up. If you want to get feedback, you click on here and you get the feedback form. So if you want to get feedback, say you're the office manager, you want to get feedback from the vet techs, and you want something, this is a built-in on your work performance. How well are you doing? And we'll give you a little preview of that. So this is a form. You can create all these different types of forms. So this one happens to go with competencies. You just slide it. Problem solving, you're good at problem solving, not. Are you a team worker? Are you ethical? How productive are you? And then you could also write in those kinds of things. And the nice thing about this, if you're getting feedback or if you're giving feedback, it saves it so that at a later date, you're able to see all those types of things. Again, if you wanted to put a detailed message in there, you can put a detailed message in. If you want to attach a file, you can attach a file. And if it goes to one of the goals, you could click here, and that it'll show up under that goal that this is a part of that goal. Again, it could be private or open, anonymous or signed. Now, one of the nice things about feedback, if you're trying to get some feedback from people, is you can put a scheduler here. Okay, so if you put the scheduler down here, this will send it out at whatever time you want. So you want to sign it every week, well, then you can do that. If you wanted to every 2 weeks, you can sign it out every 2 weeks. When do you want to start it? Maybe you want to start what you're looking for in a month from now. Maybe you want to start it tomorrow. You can customize this however you like, what time of day it comes out, and then repeat till what day it ends. So if you're constantly looking for feedback every 3 months, every 6 months, something like that on yourself or on a coworker, are they improving in this area? You could set that up so that this form is filled out and given to you. Now, they'll get notifications before the deadline. So you could say that, hey, I want to complete it by you 7 days before the deadline, or I shouldn't say that. I want to send out a notification 7 days before the deadline just to remind the person to be able to fill out the form and send it back to you. And then you're going to send email notification reminders every 3 weeks until the deadline. So however you want to set this up. And you can hide the response. So say you have 10 people working for you. You just instituted a new policy on XYZ. You wanted to see how that policy is doing. You create the form. You send it out. But you don't want to look at one form at a time. You might want to say, well, I want to hide all responses until I at least get 8 responses back. It'll collect them all, and then, boom, you'll have all 8 of them, so you're not looking at them on a one-on-one basis. Now, this will show you this is what you see. And the way you can utilize this, so you see the different things. So we got recognition. It was a hotshot badge by Seth that he did a good job. Now, if you don't want to see the recognition, you just click here. Those go away. If you want to see everything, it clicks there. Also, it will have you incoming recognition. So anything that came in and the outgoing that you gave. Well, who did I give recognition to lately? Oh, you know what? I haven't done anything in a few days. It's been 4 days since I recognized anybody for doing anything. I probably need to go ahead and do something, find something that somebody's doing right and send that out. On the feedback side, again, same thing. Whatever you want to see, if you only want to see one thing, recognition outgoing, that's all you're going to see. Now, where I'll take you next is, and this is the home page. You can always get back to the home page here. So these are the quick links that go above. Now, the next piece is the analytics. So this is analytics for Seth. And Seth can see everything that he's done, that he sent out, whatever he sent out. If he wants to take a look at this and says, is the project on time? Because he's asking somebody if there was something happening there. All of that is over here. And you can easily view it either way. And then there is some reporting down here. This can be a little bit customizable, but it just kind of shows you the feedback. Did you get feedback from were you soliciting feedback? Was it unsolicited feedback? Some of this may be helpful if somebody's looking for a promotion. They want to be a team leader. Are they looking to do self-improvement? Maybe that's one of the categories that you're looking to do. If you just want it for yourself, if you want it for somebody else, you would go here, go for a coworker. If you're administrator, so you would be if you're a office manager, we want to see what Judy has, you would just hit switch. Oh, access denied. You would be able to, let's see what else I have here. See all that Neho has. So here's the things that you've done for him. So automatically you can see these. You can also print all this stuff off so that when you print a PDF, you can go here. It's going to put in a PDF form. If you're having a conversation, you're talking to people about certain things that they're doing well or not doing well, it has a PDF form, and then you can print that off. Over here is kind of your menu. So this will go for the company setup, so settings. So if you want to put your name, if you want to put your logo in there, you can do those types of things. Again, this will just go back to the users, the setup goals, edit your profile, change your password, and then these are different types of things. So if you want to schedule a request, so say you had something that you wanted every 2 weeks on, that you wanted to get feedback, you would go in here and you could edit this form and get information back. So please give me feedback on the budget. If somebody's working on a budget for you, if somebody's working on something else, it's a project, maybe it's a project that lasts 6 months that you have them doing, you could set this up so they automatically are required to give you feedback, and then they're going to give you, it'll give them a notification, give you a notification that you're supposed to get the feedback, and then you can follow up to make sure that they do that. And then if you create forms, you go here to create all your forms. They're drafts until you activate them. You just click on activate the form. And you would just go in here to create the form. You would title it, what subject do you want, and then it'll take you to the next page on creating forms. And badges. So if you want to create different badges, so I have some of the badges in here that you just add a new badge, and then you can name it, and then if you want to put a picture or whatever you want on there, then you could put that on there, and then you have that badge to be able to do the recognitions for people. And then here, this is just another place where it will show all your recognitions. So with that, I will open it up, Dr. Young, to questions that people have.
Okay, so if you have any questions, just type them in the chat box. I actually have a couple for you.
Sure.
And of course, I circled some stuff and I don't remember what I was thinking. But so when you were talking about the progress within a team. So the goal was to sell 3 boxes of HeartGuard per day for 90 days. And the person, I'm assuming the person who sold the most would could possibly get a gift card.
Mhm.
So who puts that information in the application? Like, say you have, let's just say you have 3 receptionists and 7 technicians, and they all interact with clients, and they sell HeartGuard. And so say, let's just take 3. So Jennifer sells 5 boxes of HeartGuard on Monday, and Lisa sells 3, and Becky sells 1 on Monday. So you have, what did I say, 5? Jennifer 5, Becky 1, Lisa 3. So who puts that information into the app?
Now that's a good question. You could do 2 ways. One, either you as the office manager can, because you have administrative rights to be able to do it. Mm-hmm. Or if there's somebody else that's out there that is in charge of the contest, say Becky's in charge of it, and she's tracking it out there, you can give her administrative rights and she can do it. And
okay, excellent.
What you could do is, like recognize someone. So again, it is a coworker, and say this one will be Jessica. You could say it's sells heartworm. And what I did was, so on these, I gave these point values. You don't have to do it. So if you see down here, she sold 3 boxes. So she's a hot shot today. Where are my other ones here? Novice, if she only sold 1, you could do that. If she's a mover, she sold 2 boxes, and then you just type whatever comment and you send that recognition out. Everybody sees that Jessica sold 2. And then you would just come in here. You see where I updated it before. So now Jessica sold 2 more. Go in there. Change it now. She has 3. And it's updated. And then you'll come back. You'll see it should be updated.
So, so 2 questions there. Well, one is just a great, so you don't have to be the practice manager to be responsible for this. You can actually elect the lead receptionist at the end of the day to just tally up the quote-unquote score, the boxes of HeartGuard that were sold, and the lead technician. So when you update it, then the next day when they come in, they can go into the program and they can see, ooh, I was a hot shot yesterday, and oh, I was just a novice puppy yesterday. I've got to do better. I love that. So when you update it, does the application, so if say you sold 5 on Monday and then the next day you sell 3 and the lead receptionist puts in 5 on Monday and then an additional 3 for Tuesday, does the program tally up that it's 8, or do you have to do that yourself?
You have to do that manually in here. So they'll see the standings. Now, again, what you could do is, so again, we'll say Jessica. We'll say Neho here. Heartworm pills. And he was 3. And you can do this where you could set these values if you want. That person would know, and everybody else would know because of the value you set with Hotshot and the Golden Retriever, that they did a great job. Or you could type it in here. And when you send this recognition, because we set this up, that it's open and visible to the entire company, everybody in the practice gets to see that he sold 3 and gets to see this message. The only updating you would have to do is when you go into the goal is update here with the points. It won't transfer that piece over. You have to do that. But then everybody will see the standings as you go along. They can come in here and see these standings.
So on those standings, so say it's Becky and Lisa and Jennifer again. So say Lisa sold 3 on Monday, and then on Tuesday she sold 2, and then on Wednesday she sold 5. Is that going to show? So is every day going to show in the standing?
The other way you would see that is based off of the recognitions that you sent out around this goal. And it won't add it automatically to it. It'll only
no, I'm
see
not
it from
asking
the
about the ad. Yep. I'm not saying about the adding. I'm just saying, can you program it so that every day it will tell you who's the hotshot and who's the novice, who's the puppy, who's the big dog.
Yeah, when you send out the goal, when you send out the recognition, this is every day. So what you would do is you'd send this out to say everybody did something. So you would put it in here and just go through each one every day and say this one sold this many, Jessica sold that many. If the doctor sold some, you could include him in there. But based off of that and what you put in your comments, and if you did add values to your badges, which you can, so we call this one a mover, and we say that they sold 2 because we put 2 points here. And every time you send that out, they're going to see it in their feed. So when they come in, they're going to see and hear the recognition.
Gotcha. Excellent.
You'll see it here. So this one, Seth sent this out, and Neho was a hotshot. And if I typed everything in, we go into that, it would show that whatever I typed in there would show in here.
Gotcha.
And you also know that the hotshot is a 3 sale. So, and this would all be in their feeds.
So then the other thing that you mentioned was that that coworkers can recognize each other. So my question was, can they get into this program from home? So can they leave the clinic and then just say, when they're sitting at home, they've got their feet up on the coffee table, it's been a rough day, but they just want to recognize one of their coworkers for doing a really good job, or say, thanks for filling in during my lunch hour. I had an emergency, I had to go check with my child, thanks for standing in for me. Can they do that from home?
Yeah, this is a cloud-based system. It's on Amazon servers, so they could access this home just like they were at work. All they have to do is click on the link, sign in, and they're ready to go.
Excellent. And then one more question that I have, and I'm not seeing anybody else type in any questions on the side, so I'm kind of monopolizing your time here, but I am keeping an eye on the chat box. So if you guys have any questions, you have 2 minutes to get it in the chat box. My other question was, especially the younger generation, they're always on the phone. Can this be, can you get to this program via iPhone or Android phone? Is it an app that you can download?
Not right now. They have to have an internet access. We are working so that you could also do this from a Twitter standpoint, so it would send out tweets.
Okay, so I'm thinking that everybody in the veterinary industry is going, oh, phew, they can't access it from the phone, because one of the problems that we actually have is that we're trying to get our younger generation off the phone, because, they are, even in the clinic, just attached to a phone. So it's good to know that they can go home at the end of the day and they can recognize coworkers and they can check how they've done. But it's also good to know that as of right now, they can't, it's not something that they can download onto their phone and then walk around the clinic, with their nose in the phone, recognizing each other. So that's actually a good thing as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what everybody else is thinking.
Okay, good. Well, we will shortly be able to do this and tie these recognitions into tweets, so they could get it here, plus it would go to a tweet on their phone if they wanted to do that.
Gotcha. And then the feedback from the coworkers, I think you said that it can be private or it can be open to everybody. Is that correct?
Correct. So you either do it here anonymous or private only. And the same thing if you wanted to get something a little bit more detailed. So if you had a file that you wanted them to look at and it was around team playing and you're trying to get feedback because you're going to go talk to Becky about something, and here's a file and feedback on what we want to do, or there is a format. So there's built-in ones. So you could just say like, don't like sliders, 1 through 10, or these are just some custom ones that I put in here. So you have work performance, you can preview that. You would ask them to fill out this form, but it only goes back to you and nobody else can see that form.
Excellent.
And then if you just want to do a quick poll, you can do that too.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Mark.
You're welcome.
1:30, and I know that when we talked yesterday that you were thinking about offering something to to our group if they were interested in having you demonstrate this application for them. So I'll just have you talk about that for a second, and then we'll have to sign off.
Okay, yeah, sure. If anybody's interested in the application, we could set you up with a 30-day free trial. That way you can get used to it. I can help you get things set up. If that interests you, please email me at mark@redhawksol.com. And I'll get back to you, and it only takes like a couple of days to get you set up into the system, and then you can start working. And then if you have questions about how to set it up or how to do certain things, I'm always here, and we have other people in the organization that's here to help you get that done. So yeah, that's a special that we're doing for Dr. Young's group.
Great. Thank you so much, Mark. And yeah, if you want to get in touch with Mark, you can do that through me also. And I put his email address in the chat box. So if you want to copy that and get in touch with him directly, you can do that. And I believe he's also a member of our group Beyond Veterinary Practice Management on LinkedIn. So that's another way of getting a hold of Mark. So thank you very much, Mark.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
It's interesting to listen to somebody who's not in the veterinary industry and all of the information and resources that are out there. So thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. And thank you, everybody who was on the call today. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next week.
Take care.
Bye-bye.